Because at the end of the day, an economy runs on belief. It runs on trust. And for the first time in a long time, international investors, they're starting to get nervous about France. And the irony here is just so thick you could cut it with a knife. France was one of the countries that helped write the Eurozone's fiscal rules. You know, the guardrails that are supposed to keep the whole currency stable. But now they're the ones most flagrantly breaking those rules, just below the brink. And it leads to a wild question. Could robots be the answer? So the core idea here is to use technology as what's called a productivity multiplier. It's pretty simple. If you can't get more workers, you just have to make each worker you do have drastically more effective.
That's AI would do that.
Humanoid robots that can
work. A humanoid robot, man, you're talking about like robots haven't been used on factory lines forever. What you're talking about is AI. AI in knowledge workers is what you would call them. White collar people who like sit at desks. So like, okay, I'm gonna say it. There was a company I consulted with that provides a generative AI solution. We call that agentification is really what it is, where you're creating agents to do the work or do part of the workflow of knowledge workers. So the solution that I was selling and working on a go-to-market strategy for the startup, that solution basically automated, not because we have automation testers. The traditional bottleneck in the software development process is the testing part of it. You have manual testers and automation testers. The solution that we provided at the startup I was consulting with agentified that. So that AI, in layman's term, the simplest way to put it, AI would do that work. Or rather, the way I would spin it, it would empower those manual and automation testers to do that work faster, more reliable, with fewer inconsistencies in the work that they were doing. This is appealing to directors and people above, you have manual automation testers, those are individual contributors. Then you have like managers. Those would be like, software testing manager, or director of software engineering or software testing. Then above them, you might have like VPs of software engineering, although at JP Morgan, like all of their software engineers are called VPs for some reason, which is weird. And then it goes up and up and up, but there's different priorities for each of those people. As I'm selling that solution, I have to be cognizant of, what concerns and benefits that I can position to each of those different types of, I guess you would say, customer profiles. When they're talking about productivity multiplier, the work that I do, I'm the one who can profit from this. I was actually talking to a friend. I was interviewing with a French company a couple weeks ago for a contract, and they also have a software testing tool that's handled by automation or handled by agentification. There's a lot of startups that are AIing the software engineering tester's role. And that is a threat to people in those roles. In some, you could argue. Me as a salesperson, I say that we are empowering those people to do their work faster. But productivity multiplier is not going to be like a fucking robot. It's going to be generative AI being put into the knowledge workers' day-to-day workflow.
Worker you do